Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. His name is Mike Brenner. This is the SBR Odds Couple Sports Betting Show for Tuesday, August 23rd.
Yep.
Mike Brenner, we got a bunch of segments that are interesting. We're going to start with WNBA. Back with WNBA.
Girls
right?
are back from Rio de Janeiro.
WNBA, of course, if you know what you're doing, if you have the time to research it, can be very profitable, right,
Yes,
Mike Brenner?
it can. Yes, it
we
can.
know that. All right, so what we're going to do is, of course, the Olympics just happened. A bunch of players played in the Olympics, not just for the USA, for a bunch of countries. So we're just going to review how the first part of the season went, review how the Olympics went, and some things to look for and think about, right,
I
Mike
like
Brenner?
that, Pistol Pete. Yeah.
All right, I have some
and
stats.
we would be remiss if we didn't say it was the 6th straight gold medal that the women's basketball team won in Rio de Janeiro. So with that being said, Pistol Pete, take it away.
Okay, let's just review some of the numbers. First of all, things that pops out at me is in the pre-Olympics, overs hit at almost 56%.
Wow.
162 and 128. And anyone who was betting day in and day out definitely got a sense of that. The overs were cashing. That was aided a little bit by overtime games, but definitely overs were just bet them blindly. That's a pretty big sample size, 280 games. Then, as far as ATS is concerned, there were no teams. There's a lot of parity, ATS-wise.
Yeah.
That makes sense. The best teams were some of the worst teams in the league. Connecticut, 14-8-2 ATS, and then Indiana. And then the worst teams were all Chicago, Phoenix, and Dallas, all about 10-14, 10-15 ATS. So those are the pre-Olympics numbers. Now, moving on to the Olympics, it's interesting because you do see this in hockey sometimes when they take a break and players play overseas and stuff.
Did you ever play hockey when you were a kid in New York?
All the time.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby.
The players, this does affect them, right? Yeah. They can get injured. Sue Bird got injured, or they can get a little bit worn down. And I have the numbers right here, Mike Brenner. Let's just go through it just so we can start our discussion. Phoenix, 5 players played in the Olympics. Minnesota, 4 players, and Seattle, 3 players. And then on down the line, Indiana had none, Indiana had 2, and
Atlanta,
Connecticut had 1. So a bunch of these teams had 1 and 2. Phoenix, though, had 5, and they were one of the worst teams ATS before the Olympics. What do you think? Fade Phoenix?
Well, I would think it just makes nothing but sense. And, Sue Bird also, quarterfinals game got banged up pretty good. She came back because she did it just out of sheer, I think, and this girl's not young anymore. She came out of retirement. But I think it's like this, Pete. I think they're going to pay for that. They're going to be tired no matter what. It's just like the Olympic men's team. I'm sitting there watching Kyrie Irving, several guys. They're going to pay for that down the road. So the teams exactly. Now, the teams that didn't send anybody, although they may not be good teams or even playoff bound, look for them to ATS early, literally cover. And I think there's going to be some bloated lines. I think we could take advantage of it. And,
Connecticut had the best ATS record pre-Olympics. They only sent 1 player.
Exactly.
They might be undervalued
that's right there.
Well.
That's gold right there, what
you
just said, Pete.
Phoenix, 5 players.
Yes.
All right.
Gotta fade them. And they're struggling anyway. And they were struggling anyway.
All right, so I think with totals, we'll wait and see. But as of right now, we're looking to maybe fade Phoenix and maybe Minnesota. Maybe look to bet on Connecticut and maybe continue. I don't know, San Antonio. They have
San Antonio.
They had only 1 player. And the Knicks, a well-coached team.
Yes.
Right, with Michael Cooper. And they only sent 1 player. So, think about maybe New York, San Antonio, and Connecticut as teams to look to bet on.
Well, Pete, you know what? I like this angle, and this is something I'm sure our viewers aren't getting anywhere else from anybody, breaking down the games like that and basing it on how many players. So WNBA kicks back to 26th. 27th, there's going to be 5 games on slate, or 26th, there's going to be 5 games on slate. So Pete and I are going to do a video on those games, and if we will, let's make marks on those teams that do have those players because that's where the edge is going to be. And I like it first half, too.
All right.
I like early first half going against Phoenix,
Sounds
Pete.
good. I love WNBA.
I do too, buddy.
Great video segment
I'm looking forward to it, yes.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SBR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.